G'day, it's Justin Hogg here from RightSource in the wonderful outdoors, talking all things accounting. Today I wanted to share a little bit of a few clients have gone through recently the decision process as to whether they want to change accounting system. So it's actually very interesting to look at when you're running your business. I mean, obviously you've got a core system. One of your core systems is your accounting system, and sometimes you want to change it. So the reason I suppose a lot of people initially look at changing their accounting system is, one, the software is no longer supported. That's one thing. Another very common one is reporting. Another one is looking to get it up in the cloud, and sometimes it's just they want more features. Now, these are all, to varying degrees, a reason to change your accounting system. But what I want to talk through a bit more detail today is sort of the thought process to go through that, and then look behind that a little bit more and really understand the benefits that you could potentially get from changing your accounting system, or if the benefits aren't really there. So the cost benefit analysis, and also to understand the risks and the sort of non-quantitative aspects behind it. So obviously, if you look at some of those options that we talked about there and look at, well, what are the benefits of changing? Because you want to really quantify the benefits first up. Obviously, if you've on a software platform that's no longer supported, it's come to its end of its life, well, that's a big risk to the business. You really want to move off that to something else. So very hard to quantify in terms of the benefit, but there's obviously a very large benefit in terms of minimizing the risk of the organization. So for me, that's always almost a fait accompli. If the software is no longer supported, you should really make sure you get onto a software platform that continues to be supported. Quite often that's interlinked with moving to the cloud. So probably 5 years ago, moving to the cloud was this neat idea. Now it's pretty commonplace, and in fact most businesses do tend to use it. Usually looking at the cloud, again, it's a risk-based thing, making sure you have access to the internet and sufficient speed, and where your data is being stored. I mean, that's usually the two main characteristics that you're looking at for the cloud. But again, that's more of a risk mitigation strategy. The benefits of cloud tend to be in that area. Reporting is a really interesting one when you look at the benefits, because, and I suppose this is where, when you're going through the benefits, you at the same time also want to understand the features of the new system you're looking for. So as we were talking about cloud just before then, if you're saying, well, we have a risk because our software's on a server and really we want to put it in the cloud so it's more secure, you want to make sure that when you then scope out your requirements for your new software, that one of the requirements is it's in the cloud, because that's one of the reasons why you're changing. So when you put reporting on that, I mean, there's a lot of people who are frustrated with the reporting out of their accounting system. Fundamentally, accounting systems aren't good at reporting. So it's always, because of that, it's always an aspect that if one of the reasons you wanted to change your accounting system is because of reporting, make sure you put down that that's one of the features you want in your new system, so that you can actually test that they're there before you make the change. And obviously having good reporting can add a lot of value to your business. So that's definitely a reason to change. You just want to make sure that your new software actually gives you what you need. Usability can often be something that's talked about. Again, that's very hard to quantify the value or the benefit to your business on that. It can definitely make users more happy, and also more new users coming onto the system able to use it better, definitely. But when you're talking about usability, you do really want to get into, well, what do you actually mean, and try and identify what benefit that's going to bring to your business. And lastly, we talk about features. And quite often, for me, this is the main reason why businesses end up moving accounting systems, is because they've outgrown the features on their current one. And now what can this mean? Well, it can mean a lot of different things to different people. It can mean being able to deal with multi-currency, being able to deal with multiple entities in a large corporate structure. It could be dealing with job costing more accurately, for like in the construction game, or client management in professional services, and doing that in more detail and more integrated approach. And that type of thing is quite often, as a business grows, it then needs an accounting system that has that better fit to the business as it grows. So once you've had a look at the benefits, it's then also good to step back and say, well, this is what I'm trying to achieve, this is what I need to happen. Are those needs actually a result of the system? And what I mean is the system the problem? I always ask this question, because sometimes it's not the system that's the problem. And you've either potentially got poor processes, you may not be utilizing the current system, so the benefits or the features you're looking for may already exist in your existing system, you just don't know about them. Or is it potentially can be people who aren't the right fit for your business and you're trying to fit a system to fit the people. It's not always a good approach. So it's always good to step back when you're looking at a new accounting system and go, well, let me just make sure that what I'm actually trying to fix is something the system can fix, and it's not trying to compensate for other issues that are happening within the accounting or the finance function within the business. And lastly, when you're doing your decision on whether you change accounting system and you're looking at benefits, you also need to look at costs. Now, obviously there's a cost of a new system, okay, great. There are also a lot of hidden costs when you look at this. So be aware that, I mean, for example, one thing is if you move accounting system, what are you going to do with all the data that's in your old accounting system? Because you need to be able to maintain that financial data for at least 7 years from a legal point of view, but also from a reporting point of view and information that's in there. I mean, there'll be customer invoices, there might be customer information in there. How are you going to move that data? So are you going to move that data across into your new accounting system? Well, doing that, obviously there's a cost to that. If you're not going to move the data and you just want to maintain it in the old accounting system, well, that means you're going to be paying for 2 accounting systems potentially for a period of time. So take that into account in terms of your accounting system. The next thing in terms of hidden costs is that obviously learning a new system takes time and the implementation process takes time. So there is going to be a cost both in terms of the initial buying the new software and putting it in and setting it up. So there's a cost of time there. But then also as your users of the system get used to it, there's going to be a decrease in productivity for a period of time as you're getting used to a new system. So that often takes time and can cost. I mean, sometimes it's even the requirement of bringing in extra people to help with that learning period and that transition period. So there's definitely a cost. So you want to understand these are the benefits, these are the costs. Is there a cost benefit? At least do the benefits outweigh the costs in some degree in terms of before you move ahead. And you want to understand all of that before you make the decision to start moving to a new accounting system, because looking at after you've made the decision or after you've purchased the product, it's too late then. So you've already moved forward. It's not too late, I shouldn't say that, but you've already incurred some costs. So it's better to look at this before you go and purchase your new accounting system. So that's really about it in terms of changing accounting system. I suppose the only other final point I'd add is if your expertise isn't accounting and isn't the accounting system, get someone to help. I mean, that's always the best way. Sometimes it might be that the answer's already in the system and already in the people that you have in your business, and you don't need to go through this cost and heartache of changing your accounting system. Well, that's it for this week's video. Thanks for watching. If you like what you saw, definitely subscribe to the channel or to keep up to date with the videos that keep coming, or check out some of the other videos. There's definitely a lot of stuff in terms of accounting, business, not-for-profit, something you might find useful. Thanks for watching. It's Justin Hope from Right Source. Catch you next time.